Okay, welcome back to another game review. Last night we had the Western Conference second round be finalized. There was two games last night. Such two great games. These two games were absolutely amazing. I was watching these games and I'm thinking to myself, oh my god. And especially the first, both of these games were entertaining to watch. Like yesterday was a really good night. Was a really good game of hockey. Like the day of Game 6 for Vegas and Vancouver and Philadelphia, New York. That was probably the best day for hockey. This is a great bat. This is a great second. This is a great next day for that. And I think tonight is either going to be very it's going to be emotional either way. It's either going to be it's probably going to be the worst night of the season for me, or it's going to be the best night of the season for me. So I don't know what to expect heading into Game 7 for Philly and New York tonight. I'm going to just talk about that for a few minutes here. I don't know what to expect. You know, I lost all hope in my team at Game 3, to be honest with you. I was saying, oh, I think my Flyers are finished. I think this is going to be the death of them. This is it. This is it. It's over. No. And they tied up the series. Yes, it was in overtime, and people were saying, "Oh, that's technically not a real win." It's a win. It's still a win. It's just like the Islanders' goals that they scored. They were retarded, but they were goals. So you can't use that argument. I mean, you know, the money puck odds, it has Philadelphia just over the Islanders by like 1.2% or something for the deserve to win meter, and I don't know what to expect. I think that it's gonna be a very intense game. I think that these teams have been battling it out. I think that these teams, you know, everyone's been saying that New York is the better team. I think we're evenly matched, to be honest with you. We keep coming. I don't want to jinx anything, but we keep coming back, and I mean, that's saying something. So, and one thing we do need to work on for Philadelphia is we need to not to choke leads. That's one thing I'm going to say right here now. We cannot choke leads. Game 3, we choke a lead. We choke a lead. We lost that game. Game 2, we choked a lead, but we locked out and won that one. Game 4, no, not Game 4. Game 5, we choked the lead, but we came out and won. Game 6, we choked out a lead and came out and won. But I mean, like, all these games were coming out and winning in overtime, and I mean, they're lucky wins, I guess, but they're still wins, and we can't keep doing that. So Game 7 needs to be I need to see different play in Philadelphia. I think that the Islanders, if they play like how they did in the past few games, I think they'll stand a chance against. I think they'll beat Philadelphia, if not make it close. So it's gonna be a very intense game. But anyways, that doesn't mean anything. Let's get into Dallas and Colorado game review. Landeskog is out. He was injured in Game 6. Cogliano is out, and Kiviranta is in, the no-name guy. And when he scored his first goal, which was in the second period, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, who the heck is this guy? And then especially when he scored the overtime goal, I'm like, oh my god. So it was a very surprising game. First period, Alexander Radulov just 2:37 and gets a rebound goal with Pavelski and Heiskanen getting those assists. Heiskanen's been on fire. It's a power play goal, and it is 1-0 Dallas. Now, heading into this game early, Khudobin seemed kind of out of it. Like, it seemed like he kept looking behind him. He did that at least like 5 or 6 times during the game. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, that's not the best thing you want to see your goaltender doing. Sorry, that's the garbage truck most likely that you're hearing in the noise. So yeah, the other goal that was in the period, Vladislav Nemestikov got his third goal of the playoffs with a wrist shot, with Cole and Kadri getting the assist. 3:48, just a minute and 9 seconds after the Radulov goal, it is tied 1-1. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh boy, he's not. And like, I mean, like, you look at the final statistics, he got better as the game progressed, but he did not look good at the beginning. At 9:43 into the first period, just a little bit under 10 minutes in, Burakovsky scores his 7th goal of the playoffs, unassisted off of a turnover to make it 2-1 Colorado, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. And it wasn't looking too good for Dallas to start off. I think that Colorado was really the better team playing in this game. I think that yes, they came out. Yes, Dallas won, but I think Colorado was a better team. I thought they would come out and win this. I mean, I was rooting for Dallas. I was rooting for Dallas for my bracket. My bracket, by the way, is still alive. If Philadelphia wins tonight, my bracket has survived the first and second round, which I can't believe it. So, and it likely won't survive the Eastern Conference Finals, or it might actually, because if Philly beats Tampa and then Vegas beats Dallas, we'll have my Stanley Cup final predicted right. There's no way. There's no way though. I'm actually almost halfway to beating my bracket, so it's actually kind of unbelievable. Second period, there's 3:06 in. Joel Kiviranta, where I was like, who the heck is this guy? Got a tip and goal off of a great Gurianov shot with Klingberg with the other assist. It's tied 2-2. And I mean, not long after that, there was a goal that you really couldn't blame Khudobin for the goal that Colorado scored after this. You really couldn't. I mean, like, it was a rebound goal. I mean, Rantanen had the first shot, and then Kadri just like kept firing on net, and then he finally just put it in, and it was 4-3. I mean, 3-2. So that was Kadri's 9th goal of the playoffs. Rantanen and Burakovsky getting the assist. It was a power play goal, 5:45, a little bit over 2 minutes after the Kiviranta goal. And it's 3-2 heading into the third period. And I was like, oh boy, my phone's going to die. That's great. So I got to get this game review done. So I was like, oh boy, that's great. So that's a problem. And then heading to the third period, I was like, they're going to win this game. Colorado's going to win this game. I know Dallas, they're getting outplayed by them. But the third period, Dallas proved me wrong. Third period, Alexander Radulov gets a tip-in goal with Klingberg and Ben getting the assist. It's a power play goal, 11:20 into the third period. It is 1-0. I mean, not 1-0. Tied 3-3. And then not long after, and then just 5 minutes later, Vladislav Namestnikov gets his 4th goal of the playoffs, 2nd goal of the game, with Comfort and Zadorov getting the assist. It is 4-3, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And there's only like 4 minutes left in the game, and I'm like, okay, so could this be the end of the road for Dallas and back-to-back Game 7 losses? And that's the same thing for Colorado too. Colorado and Dallas have not made the Western Conference Final in a long time. Colorado, I can't remember the last time they made it. I want to say 2001 actually, and Dallas, I think might have been 2000. So I don't know. There might have been a time before, there might have been a time after that, but I don't know. So like 2000 and 2001 was the last time these guys made the conference final, unless if I'm mistaken. I don't know. But anyways, and then just 10 seconds after the Mestikov goal, Kiviranta, who's supposed to be scratched if Cogliano wasn't out, got a rebound goal. It was 2nd of the game. That was such a lucky bounce. With Hintz and Heiskanen getting the assist, 16:30, it's tied 4-4. And I'm like, oh my god, anybody can win this game now. So Dallas started playing really well after that. And then in overtime, just 7 minutes and 24 seconds into the first overtime, they got their 3rd goal, aka the hat trick, off a wrist shot. And Dallas Stars won in overtime. Sekera and Alexiak getting the assist. Final score, 5-4 Dallas. Final in overtime. Colorado basically dominated this game. You look at this. You look at the statistics. You're like, yeah, this was a Colorado game. 44-35 in favor of Colorado in shots. 1 for 4 Colorado on the power play. 2 for 2 for Dallas. So all their penalties they scored on. And there was and on the one Kiviranta goal there was a late call. So I forgot to mention that. 8-4 were the penalty minutes. Dallas. 38-32 were the hits for Dallas. So it's been a very physical series. This is probably my favorite series of the entire playoffs so far, to be honest with you. In the Western Conference, at least. It depends on how Philly and New York turns out. 25-22 in block shots in favor of Dallas. Great game. 3 stars, Kiviranta, well deserved first star. 3 goals including the game-winning goal. He comes in off of a scratch from Andrew Cogliano. It was such a great game. Vladislav Namestnikov gets a 2nd star honor, also well deserved. 2 goals and 1 assist, and then Anton Khudobin gets a 3rd star with 40 out of 44 saves. I think that really Hutchinson also played really well. And I mean, coming out of this game, there's nothing really that Colorado could be mad about. I think they outplayed Vegas. I think they outplayed Dallas a lot. I think until towards the end, I think they outplayed them for basically the whole game. So yeah, Dallas moves on to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2020 years, if I'm not mistaken. There might have been a time before that. I don't know though. Now let's move on to Vancouver and Vegas. Vancouver hasn't made the Western Conference Finals since 2011. Vegas hasn't made it in 2 years. So, I mean, it's these teams have made it recently, somewhat. And let's review Game 7. So first period, there's no goals, and it's basically a goalie show. Demko on top. It was basically a Demko show for the entire game, when you look at it, it was basically just a Demko game. So Demko stopped like 70 consecutive shots and like 120 shots before Shea Theodore got the goal in the third period. Vancouver, by the way, had 2 shots in the first period. Vegas, I think, had like 13. So like it was really just a dominant game by Vegas. And second period there was no goals, another goalie show because there was so many good saves. And then Reeves was ejected due to an illegal check on Tyler Montz. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think that Reeves has been really physical during this year. I'm surprised him and Roussel haven't really gotten into a fight yet. It's really surprising that it hasn't happened. Third period, Shea Theodore gets his 6th goal of the playoffs with a wrist shot play. Nothing really Thatcher Demko could do about that. Smith's 9th assist of the playoffs. Sorry, I heard my dad walk in, by the way. 13:52 into the third period's power play goal, and really it was just 1-0 final. There was 2 empty nets. Alex Tuck and Paul Stastny get the 2 empty netters, and final score is 3-0 Vegas. Demko is crying. I was kind of crying too. I mean, it stinks. I posted a tweet on Twitter, and if you saw the tweet, you would know what I said. It was really just a Demko. I mean, like, people were saying that he low-key carried them. They're low-key right. Vancouver, apart from Demko, pretty much got schooled in the entire period. So 36-14 were the shots for Vegas. 1 for 3 on the power play for Vegas. 0 for 4 on the power play for Vancouver. 16 penalty minutes for Vegas. 6 penalty minutes for Vancouver. 45-27 were the hits for Vegas. And 30-15 were the block shots. 3 stars. Thatcher Demko, well-deserved first star. He should be the third star of the series. With 35 out of 36 saves. Shea Theodore, 1 goal, was the second star. And Paul Stastny, 1 goal and 1 assist. I mean, Demko should have played the whole series. Game 2, he should have. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, Game 4, he should have played. He should have played all 7 of these games. And I think it would have been a much different outcome for Vancouver if he played all 7 games. So yeah, Vegas wins the series 4-3. They'll play Dallas in the Western Conference Finals. Game 1 is September 6th at 8 o'clock p.m., so tomorrow. There will be a series preview out today also for that. And then tomorrow we'll have whoever wins the game tonight. As I said, I don't know what to expect heading into it, so don't ask for my opinion. We'll review it tonight. Hopefully, if I don't get my Wi-Fi turned off, I'll likely have it up. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, we're trying to get to 400 subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you guys for the constant support. It's been awesome. We're at 364 subscribers now. We're only 36 away. It's been awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next video.